Morning, Spurs fans. How are we going this morning? Just thought I'd put up a video this morning. Brisbane time, a bit murky outside for us today. A few storms, had a hell of a week with hail and whatnot this week with humidity. Oh my God, it's been so hot. Well, I thought I'd put up a preview of Fulham and I suppose a kind of review of PSG. I'll be put my hands up and say I actually didn't watch the whole game. I watched the first 25 minutes and saw the highlights, saw the goals and whatnot. And while disappointing, I've got to say that first 20 minutes that I did get to watch before I had to go to that bloody thing called work, I think we were in their half more in that first 20 or 15 minutes than we were the whole of the Arsenal game. So that was a positive. And the bits that I did see of Bergville, Gray, and Sarr, oh my God, youth and enthusiasm is just so good. And cockiness of Bergville with the back heel, as for the goal, and a few of the other things he did. Like he's 19 years old, playing against the best side in Europe, and he's doing flicks and tricks like that in the 15th and I saw him do one in the for Spence, I think it was, in the first 15-20 minutes. So is this his blueprint, do we think? Is this Thomas's blueprint? Should these guys be starting more regular? Have your Polina in there, rotate Polina, Bentancur, keep these guys in there young. Let's hope they should be fit. I understand Gray has been injured. I don't know if it was a muscular injury. I think it might have been one, the calf muscle or something. But get these guys, give them some game time. They just add something. They add something a bit different to the squad. And I think that brings out better qualities in the other players too, which is great. Like your Randall, Moani, and even Richarlison. Like I think it adds to them when they have a bit of few different faces in the team, and they show a bit of enthusiasm, which Bergville and Gray did. And they, and as I said, I think in a previous video, Bergville's got that bit of mongrel in him. He's not going to take no shit from no one. He's going to, he's going to put it about. And I think you've got the structure or the core there of a team that can go like 3 or 4 years' time. I know that's what I think Ange was saying when he bought these guys. He said, I want to be, it didn't happen. But you look at that team. You've got Gray's 19, Bergville's 19, Tell's 21, or Zavi's 22, I think, as well. They're not old, but there's something there that Thomas can actually build on. And in the Premier League, put these guys in. Just put these guys in. As I say, you look at the table, 2-3 wins, bang, we're back in bloody Champions League contention. So, this rotation and whatnot, I understand that because there is so many games. But make this your core. Make that your core midfield. Bring in your Bentancur, bring in your Polina, bring them in when rotate those two. Put Polina in the Champions League and put Bentancur in the Premier League, or vice versa. Get these guys because they'll run for you all day. And Zavi, I think how old is he? He's not very old either. So get these guys in, get a bit of youth and enthusiasm in there. Crack on and get play the front foot forward. As I say, that first 15-20 minutes, I'd love to see the stats, but I'm sure that we spent more time in PSG's half than the whole of the 90 minutes that we played against Arsenal. And that was only, as I say, first 20 minutes that I managed to get to watch. The errors for the goals were disappointing. Again, but people bagging out Romero. They'll bag him out after this game, and then then they'll bloody praise him and all that sort of stuff for when he doesn't have a good game. Just get behind the team. Mistakes happen. He was trying to be brave. And that's what, we want people to be brave. We want people to take risks, which is another thing Thomas has said. I think we took a few more risks in that first tour, and it paid off. It was disappointing to be in the lead twice and to lose it. But you've got to be happy with the way, the better way we played. You can't deny that it was better to watch. As I say, that first 15, 20 minutes, I hate to say it, but it was a bit like handball. But a bit tighter at the back. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Fulham, as I say, a bit like Paul Hotspur, Hippie, and Johnny. I don't sort of tend to watch a lot of the other games, so I'm not sure of the quality of Fulham. I believe it probably below us on the table, but go with the. I think we're at home. Give the crowd. A lot of talk about atmosphere and all that sort of stuff, and I was listening to Johnny the other morning about the PSG, the ultras, and all that. Get there and just make some noise. And do it. Like, I watched the A-League out here in Australia, and my team, the Brisbane Roar, had a win last night, which was the most shocking pitch you'll ever see. If you ever want to see a shocking pitch, go and watch some of the highlights of that game. Oh my God, I was Metallica concert on there a couple of days ago, and we've had rain and hail, and it was a shit pitch. But they've got a supporters group called The Den, and they made some noise. And they've got people there, and they make the noise for the 90 minutes. There's the Western Sydney Wanderers out here in Australia, the red, I think what they call the red and black block or something. I know back when they first started, that was an intimidating place to go because they just chanted for the whole 90 minutes. Didn't stop. Win, lose, draw, they just chanted. And I think that's what we need to get there. We need to get that at Spurs, at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Just get just constantly just chant, sing, and all that sort of stuff. And as Johnny has said, and I think Paul has said, they're your 12th man. They're the ones that lift you when you're having that little bit of a flat spot. Because every 90 minutes, one of the teams is going to have a flat spot, whether it be 5 minutes, whether it be 15. And you've got to have that 12th man, that thing in the back of your head, and that noise that you hear at the ground, lifting you up and pushing you forward. So let's hope that Thomas doesn't rotate as much this time. Let's stick with this setup at least for 2 games. See how it goes in a second. See how it goes in the Premier League. If it falls flat on his ass and we get beaten before, which we're not going to do, we're going to win 4-1. Let's see how it goes. And then, as I say, rotate your Bentancur, rotate your Polina. You Spence, your doggy, you can swap those around. Spence can do left or right. I do think if we play with the more front foot football, Udogie on the left-hand side would be a better option because of his, just the quality of crossing and all that sort of stuff. Spencer's a great player, great defender, and we all love Jed. But there was a couple of times, but the one raid I saw down the left-hand side, he had a weak cross with his left foot to try and get it into the middle after a superb run down the wing, and you think, if that had been Udogie, maybe the cross might have been a bit better quality. And Mawani and Richarlison, who would have thought, eh? What a combination that's been already. So play the 4-4-2, back old school, well, kind of old school, and see how we go from there. And you've got to support this team, make some noise. As I said, I actually didn't. I watched a few of the highlights and the goals, and I've been reading a bit about X and all that sort of stuff, and you start watching these channels, and and people have said they just want to bag the players out straight away, and again on Johnny's video about rage bait, they want to create, so people go and don't worry about it, go, yes, come on, don't worry about the screaming at them and saying, oh, this is not good, say, okay, next time, next. We commiserate the loss for what, an hour, and then we're back. Come on, Fulham. That's it. And then we celebrate the win. Celebrate that for a couple of days, and put positive spin on everything. So here's hoping, as I say, 4-1 win on, I think it's Sunday morning, so I can actually watch this one. That'd be great. Sunday morning at 6 o'clock Brisbane time. So be up early watching that. I'll probably watch hope Paul's doing a watch along, so I'll be watching that. So yeah, okay. I think that might do for this morning, and get ready for another bloody muggy day here in Brisbane, Australia. So here we go. Come on, you Spurs. Let's go.